In the vast darkness of space, a ship glided silently among the stars. It was unlike anything humans had ever imagined, a smooth silver vessel that reflected the distant suns around it. Inside, the crew of aliens moved with purpose, their eyes glowing softly as they scanned the endless void. They were explorers, scientists, and historians of their galaxy. Their mission was clear: to seek new life, to understand, and if possible, to witness civilizations never before seen. For centuries, the aliens had traveled from one star system to another, documenting the planets they visited. Most were barren, lifeless, or primitive. Some had life, but it was simple, without complexity or imagination. Yet now their sensors had picked up something different: a small blue and green planet in a quiet corner of the Milky Way. The signals were faint but unmistakable: intelligence. Curiosity flared among the crew. "Coordinates locked," said one of the aliens, a tall figure with translucent skin that shimmered like liquid crystal. "This is the first planet in this sector showing structured energy patterns. Life is advanced." Another alien, smaller and with multiple limbs, leaned over the observation panel. "Do you mean intelligent life?" it asked, its voice a soft vibration in the ship. The first alien nodded. "Yes. Based on their energy output, their constructions, and the signals we have detected, this planet hosts something unusual, something rare." The ship turned slightly, aligning its sensors toward Earth. From orbit, the planet looked peaceful. Vast oceans glistened under the light of its sun. Continents stretched like painted landscapes, filled with green forests, deserts, mountains, and cities that glittered in the daylight. Clouds moved gracefully across the atmosphere, and lightning occasionally flashed over storms, reminding the aliens of the raw power contained in this small world. "Beautiful," murmured the smaller alien. "For a planet so small, it has so much life. Look at the variety: rivers, forests, oceans. It's almost artistic." The larger alien studied the images carefully. "Yes, but it's not just beauty. It's structure, creativity, and coordination. The life here has built systems, civilizations. They harness energy, manipulate their environment, and communicate in ways we have rarely seen." The ship slowed as it approached Earth's orbit, settling into a quiet path above the clouds. The aliens activated observation pods, small transparent spheres that could hover silently over the planet's surface. Each pod projected detailed images of cities, farmlands, and tiny humans going about their daily lives. From above, the humans looked like ants, tiny, fragile creatures moving in their routines, unaware that they were being watched from the stars. Yet the aliens were not unimpressed. Quite the opposite. "They are fascinating," said the smaller alien. "They are small, fragile, and yet full of energy. Look at how they organize themselves. They build, they communicate, they create." The larger alien's glowing eyes narrowed. "It is rare. Most species we have observed are either too simple or too aggressive. These humans, they are balanced, curious, intelligent, and adaptable. There is potential here, great potential." The aliens spent hours observing, moving their pods across continents and oceans. They saw humans farming the land, raising animals, and building machines to travel across their planet. They saw children learning and playing, artists painting, musicians performing, and engineers inventing. Every action was a thread in the tapestry of human life, and the aliens were mesmerized by it. "Do you think they will survive the next century?" asked the smaller alien, tilting its head. "For a species so young, they have already made great progress, but their conflicts, they fight among themselves. Will they last long enough to reach the stars?" The larger alien paused, considering. "Perhaps. But it is not just survival that matters. It is curiosity, creativity, and resilience. This species has those qualities in abundance. That is what makes them exceptional." As they continued their silent observation, one of the aliens activated a zoom lens, focusing on a small human city at night. Lights flickered across streets, cars moved like rivers of fire, and tiny glowing screens illuminated faces filled with concentration, wonder, and joy. "They are alive in ways we rarely see," said the smaller alien. "Even their smallest actions carry purpose. Even their mistakes are beautiful. Imperfect yet full of intent." Suddenly, a flare of excitement rippled through the ship. One of the aliens pointed to a human-made rocket launching into the sky. The fiery trail stretched upward, breaking through clouds and disappearing into the darkness of space. "They reach for the stars," whispered the larger alien. "They dream of more than their planet. They do not just live, they strive." The crew spent the next hours analyzing these signals. Humans were not the most powerful species, nor the most advanced technologically. Yet, in their simplicity and complexity combined, the aliens sensed a spark. A rare spark of potential that could change the course of the galaxy if nurtured. Finally, the larger alien addressed the crew. We have observed much, and yet we have only scratched the surface. Tomorrow we will descend closer. We will learn their languages, their ways, their fears, and their hopes. We may even speak to them, though carefully. This encounter could be historic, not just for them but for the galaxy. Excitement buzzed through the ship. For centuries they had explored worlds, yet nothing had prepared them for this. Earth was different. Alive, vibrant, and unpredictable. The aliens felt something they rarely experienced. Anticipation, the thrill of discovery, and perhaps even admiration. As the ship orbited silently above the Earth, its shadow passing over oceans and mountains, the aliens knew that they were witnessing the beginning of something extraordinary. A new chapter in cosmic history was about to unfold, and they would be the first to see it. Below, unaware, humans slept, worked, and dreamed. Above, the galaxy watched. And the first alien explorers were ready to witness it all. The stars twinkled in the distance, and the vast universe seemed to hold its breath. Earth had been discovered. The aliens had arrived. And the story was only beginning. The alien ship hovered silently above Earth, invisible to the humans below. From their high orbit, the planet looked peaceful, almost fragile. Yet beneath the calm surface, the aliens could sense an energy that pulsed in every corner of the world. Cities, forests, oceans, and deserts, all of it teemed with life. But it was not the quantity of life that fascinated them, it was the quality, the way humans lived, created, and dreamed. Inside the ship, the crew watched through thousands of screens, each displaying a different part of Earth. Their eyes, glowing softly, traced the patterns of human activity. In one corner, children ran across a playground, laughing and shouting. In another, a scientist studied a machine that could launch humans into the skies. In a distant city, people gathered in cafes, exchanging ideas, stories, and laughter. "They are small yet so busy," murmured the smaller alien. "Every action, every movement seems deliberate. There is purpose in everything they do." The larger alien nodded. "Yes. Observe their communication. They share ideas, build relationships, and solve problems together. They are fragile yet united. Rarely do we see such balance between individuality and cooperation in one species." A soft hum filled the ship as the aliens adjusted their observation pods. These small spheres could hover silently near humans, recording every detail without being noticed. They floated over cities, farms, oceans, and forests, collecting data on human behavior. Every gesture, word, and invention was analyzed, catalogued, and stored. "Look at that," said the smaller alien, pointing to a human artist painting on a street corner. "Even in simplicity they create beauty. Color, shape, form, something that exists only to express thought and emotion. This is remarkable." The larger alien's eyes glimmered. "Yes. Most intelligent species focus only on survival or conquest. Humans create without expectation. They imagine. They dream. That is their true strength." Hours passed as the aliens observed. They watched farmers tending their fields, engineers testing machines, teachers guiding children, and families sharing meals. Every scene revealed a combination of struggle, hope, and determination. Humans were far from perfect. They made mistakes, argued, and sometimes caused harm. Yet for every flaw there was a spark of resilience, a refusal to give up, a desire to improve. "They are persistent," said the smaller alien. "No matter the challenge, they continue. They adapt. They learn. They evolve." The larger alien turned its attention to the night side of Earth, where city lights glimmered like stars on the planet's surface. Here humans were different. Their energy did not fade in the dark. They continued to work, create, and explore even when the sun was gone. Some were studying the stars, unaware that others were already watching them from the sky. "Even their curiosity reaches outward," said the larger alien. "They are small, yes, but their desire to understand the universe, it is immense." Suddenly, one of the observation pods picked up a human-made rocket launching into the atmosphere. Fire and smoke streaked into the sky, and the humans cheered as the rocket rose higher and higher. The aliens studied the humans' reaction closely. Their joy, pride, and excitement were contagious, even through the cold metal and glass of the observation pods. "They dream of more than survival," whispered the smaller alien. "They dream of the stars. They dream of other worlds. That is not common. That is rare." The aliens then focused on another activity, human communication. From letters to computers, from music to spoken words, humans exchanged ideas constantly. They shared knowledge, emotions, and stories across distances. The aliens watched debates in classrooms, discussions in government buildings, and even arguments in homes. Every interaction revealed complexity, intelligence, and creativity. They argue, noted the smaller alien. They fight. Yet, despite all conflict, they continue learning, continue building, continue dreaming. That is extraordinary. The larger alien turned to its crew. This species may seem weak in strength, and yet it has something most civilizations lack: imagination, curiosity, courage. Even in small numbers they could achieve greatness. That is why they are being observed. As the ship hovered silently, the aliens noticed something unexpected: human compassion. In hospitals, people cared for the sick. In communities, they helped the poor. In forests and oceans, they protected life that could easily be exploited. It was subtle yet undeniable. Humans were not perfect, but they cared. They had empathy, a trait rare and precious in the galaxy. They are emotional, said the smaller alien. Not like us. Not controlled, not precise. But it gives them strength. They feel deeply and they act because they feel. That is powerful. The larger alien's eyes glimmered with a rare expression: curiosity mixed with admiration. Emotions, creativity, intelligence, courage, resilience. This species is small yet full of potential. The galaxy should watch closely. For the rest of the Earth's day, the aliens continued their silent observation. They studied every human invention, every cultural expression, every act of courage and kindness. They learned about language, food, music, technology, and philosophy. Every discovery surprised them. Every small human achievement seemed monumental through alien eyes. Finally, the larger alien addressed the crew. We have seen enough for one day. Humans are more complex than we imagined. They are unpredictable, creative, and resilient. But observation alone is not enough. Soon we will need to understand them more directly. We must learn their languages, their values, their hopes, and their fears. Excitement buzzed through the ship. The aliens had studied many civilizations, but Earth was different. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, and not the most advanced. Yet they were alive in a way that few other species were, alive in curiosity, emotion, and imagination. As the ship rotated slowly over the planet, its shadow passing over oceans and forests, the aliens felt a strange anticipation. For centuries they had observed life, but never had they encountered something that stirred such awe. Humans were fragile, small, and imperfect, but their spark of potential was undeniable. Tomorrow they would move closer. They would learn more, see more, and perhaps even speak to these remarkable beings. For now, they watched silently, recording every detail, marveling at a species that was just beginning to understand its place in the universe. The stars twinkled beyond the ship, the Earth rotated below, and the aliens waited. Humanity had been discovered. And the story of first contact had only just begun. The humans had no idea they were being watched. From their perspective, the night sky was simply a blanket of stars, peaceful and distant. But high above, the alien ship lingered, its sensors scanning, analyzing, and recording every detail. 4 days the aliens had observed silently, learning about human life, culture, and emotions. But today something unexpected happened. A small human satellite, launched to study the Earth's atmosphere, suddenly detected the alien ship. Its instruments beeped urgently, sending data back to the scientists on the ground. Across the world, control rooms lit up with activity. Engineers, researchers, and space agencies stared at the screens, unable to believe what they were seeing. "They're real," one scientist whispered, voice trembling. "Something is out there. Something not of Earth." Inside the alien ship, the crew noticed the spike in energy. Their own sensors had been designed to avoid detection, but a tiny human machine had still picked up their presence. The aliens exchanged glances. "This is unexpected," said the smaller alien. "They've detected us. Should we respond?" The larger alien considered carefully. "Patience," it said. "We observe. We do not interfere. But we can prepare to communicate if necessary. This is the moment of first contact. Everything must be precise." Meanwhile, on Earth, humans scrambled to understand what they were seeing. Satellites confirmed movement, strange shapes in orbit that could not be explained. Rumors began to spread through the media. UFOs, alien visitors, first contact. Panic mixed with excitement. Some feared invasion, while others felt awe at the possibility of intelligent life beyond their planet. Back in orbit, the aliens activated a communication array. It was subtle, non-threatening, and designed to reach human sensors without causing harm. A simple message, a signal of curiosity rather than aggression, was transmitted toward Earth. The smaller alien watched closely. Will they understand us? Will they respond in fear or in reason? The larger alien's glowing eyes reflected the planet below. We are not here to conquer. We are here to observe, to learn, to witness. That must be clear. Let them know we mean no harm. Hours passed. On Earth, scientists decoded the alien signal. It was unlike any language humans had ever encountered. Patterns of light, sound, and energy. Slowly, methodically, they began to understand its meaning. A message of greeting, curiosity, and peace. Across the world, people stared at screens, some laughing in disbelief, others crying with wonder. Humanity was no longer alone. They had been noticed. In orbit, the aliens watched the humans' reaction with fascination. They expected fear, aggression, or chaos. Instead, they saw curiosity, awe, and a cautious desire to communicate. Humans were unpredictable, yet resilient, and that made the aliens even more interested. They are remarkable, said the smaller alien. Even when faced with the unknown, they do not flee. They do not attack. They study, they question, they try to understand. The larger alien nodded. Exactly. This is what sets them apart. Courage, curiosity, and intelligence. All combined in one species. It is rare in the galaxy. Very rare. Encouraged by the humans' measured response, the aliens decided to take a bold step. They lowered a small observation pod closer to the Earth's surface. It hovered silently above a city, glowing faintly, but designed to be non-threatening. Cameras and sensors captured images of humans going about their lives, unaware of the cosmic visitor just above them. Below, some humans noticed strange lights in the sky. Reports flooded in bright, moving orbs that danced across the night sky. Panic and wonder intertwined, but most watched quietly, fascinated by the unknown. Inside the ship, the aliens analyzed every reaction. Human fear, excitement, and awe were all data. But there was another pattern emerging: curiosity. Humans were not only observing, they were questioning, speculating, imagining. They were engaging with the unknown. They think, they dream, they wonder, said the smaller alien. Even in fear, they seek knowledge. That is extraordinary. The larger alien turned to the crew. Prepare for more interaction. We must be careful, but we cannot remain silent forever. This is the moment history will remember. Humanity has been discovered. How we approach them now will shape the future. As night fell over the Earth, the alien pod hovered above an observatory. Astronomers pointed their telescopes toward the strange light, taking photographs and recording data. They had never seen anything like it. Slowly, a message began to be transmitted, simple, using universal mathematical patterns. The goal was communication without misunderstanding. On Earth, scientists studied the signal, decoding the basic structure. It was clever, precise, yet simple. A greeting. A recognition of intelligence. A desire to observe and understand. Humanity was learning, step by step, that it was not alone in the universe. Inside the alien ship, excitement grew. They respond, whispered the smaller alien. They understand us. They recognize intelligence. The larger alien's voice was calm but filled with pride. Yes. And more importantly, they seek to communicate. That is the key. This species is alive not only in body but in mind and spirit. They are ready for what comes next. Across Earth, people looked to the sky with new eyes. Some were fearful, some were excited, but almost all were filled with awe. Humanity had made first contact. A tiny satellite had bridged the gap between species, and now the stars seemed closer than ever. The aliens observed silently, recording every emotion, every reaction. Humanity was imperfect, fragile, and unpredictable. Yet it had something rare in the galaxy: courage, curiosity, and the desire to reach beyond its small world. As the night passed and the first lights of dawn touched the Earth, the aliens made a decision. They would continue observing, learning more about humans, their cultures, their dreams, and their fears. But soon they would take another step, one that would deepen the connection between species. For now, the first contact was made. Humans had looked into the cosmos, and for the first time the cosmos had looked back. The galaxy had taken notice. And for both species, nothing would ever be the same. The alien ship moved slowly above Earth, its observation pods hovering silently over cities, oceans, and forests. The crew was no longer just watching humans from afar, they were beginning to understand them. Every day they recorded human behavior, speech, and creativity, piecing together the patterns of thought that made this species unique. Inside the ship, the aliens were fascinated. Humans were complex yet consistent. They communicated through words, gestures, music, and symbols. They created art and built machines. They laughed, cried, fought, and reconciled. Even in their conflicts there was purpose. Every action, no matter how small, seemed driven by curiosity, emotion, or a desire to improve. "They are unpredictable," said the smaller alien, its voice soft. "Even with all our observation we cannot anticipate all their reactions. And yet, that is what makes them alive. That is what makes them extraordinary." The larger alien nodded, eyes reflecting the blue and green planet below. "Yes, intelligence alone does not define greatness. Many species are intelligent, yet lifeless in creativity. Humans are different. They adapt, imagine, and aspire. That combination is rare, almost unique in the galaxy." The aliens began studying human language in more detail. At first it seemed chaotic, thousands of words, sounds, dialects, and expressions. But slowly patterns emerged. Numbers, music, stories, and art all contained logic, and the aliens could interpret the basic meaning. They began to recognize that humans did not just survive. They created meaning in their lives, shared knowledge, and passed wisdom from one generation to another. "Look at this," said the smaller alien, projecting an image of a child reading in a library. "Even at a young age they seek knowledge. They are small and fragile, yet their minds stretch far beyond their immediate world. That is remarkable." The larger alien's attention turned to human achievements in science and technology. Satellites, machines, and rockets were not the most advanced the aliens had seen, but what mattered was intent. Humans were curious, willing to take risks, and determined to explore. They did not have all the answers, but they asked the right questions, and that made them powerful in ways many larger civilizations were not. "They look outward," the larger alien said, "not just inward. They reach for the stars even when the path is dangerous and uncertain. That courage, it is rare." The crew also studied human emotions. They observed love, kindness, fear, anger, and joy, noting how these feelings influenced decisions. Some species in the galaxy were logical but rigid, incapable of deep emotion. Humans, however, were driven by both logic and feeling. This combination created resilience and ingenuity. "They are imperfect," said the smaller alien, "yet that imperfection allows them to grow, to learn, and to surprise. It is beautiful." Over the next few days, the aliens observed human creativity on a larger scale. Cities buzzed with energy. Markets filled with conversations, theaters with performances, and classrooms with learning. Humans painted, danced, sang, and composed music. Even in moments of play there was intelligence and imagination. Every human act, no matter how trivial it seemed, was a thread in a vast tapestry of life. "They are alive in ways few species ever are," whispered the smaller alien. "Every thought, every action carries meaning. Every human leaves a mark on their world, however small. That is extraordinary." The larger alien turned its gaze to human history. They scanned archives, monuments, and texts, learning of wars, alliances, discoveries, and philosophies. Humans had struggled, failed, and yet continued to rise. They had learned from mistakes, explored unknown lands, and questioned the cosmos. Even their myths and stories revealed a desire to understand their place in the universe. "They seek purpose," said the larger alien. "Even in suffering they search for meaning. That is courage. That is strength. That is why they will survive and perhaps even thrive where others might falter." Curiosity grew among the alien crew. They wondered what humans might achieve if given guidance, or if humans discovered other civilizations like them. The potential was staggering. A species so small and young, yet capable of creativity, compassion, and courage, could one day reshape not just their world but the galaxy. The smaller alien floated closer to the observation screens. "Do you think they are ready to meet us directly?" it asked. The larger alien paused, considering. "Perhaps. But we must be careful. Their fear could provoke conflict. Yet, their curiosity, if guided wisely, it could lead to friendship and mutual understanding. We will wait, observe, and then decide. Timing is everything." That evening the aliens focused on human dreams. Through stories, art, and communication humans expressed hopes and fears. They wanted to explore, to create, to understand the universe, yet they also feared the unknown. The aliens saw both courage and caution in humans, a rare balance. "They hope," said the smaller alien softly. "They hope even when faced with danger. That is inspiring." The larger alien nodded. "Hope drives them forward. Curiosity fuels them. Compassion guides them. These traits, combined with intelligence, make them remarkable. We may have found a species worth protecting, worth learning from. As Earth rotated beneath them, the alien crew remained in orbit, studying, analyzing, and marveling. Each day revealed more layers of humanity, its complexity, creativity, and resilience. For the first time in centuries of exploration, the aliens felt genuine excitement for what might come next. Finally, the larger alien addressed the crew. Humans are not just another species. They are alive in ways we have rarely seen. Their minds, hearts, and spirits are extraordinary. Tomorrow we will consider closer contact. But for now we continue to learn. Understanding is the first step toward trust. The observation pods descended slightly, moving closer to the surface, yet remaining unseen. Cities shimmered in lights, oceans reflected the sun, and forests swayed gently in the wind. Humanity carried on, unaware that it was being studied by a civilization far older and wiser. Yet the aliens sensed that the moment of true connection was approaching, a moment that could change both species forever. And above, in the quiet vastness of space, the alien crew watched with wonder. Humanity was small, fragile, and imperfect. Yet it was brilliant, courageous, and alive. And the galaxy was beginning to take notice. The alien ship remained silently above Earth, but its crew was no longer just observing. They had learned much about humans, their intelligence, curiosity, creativity, and emotions, but the aliens wanted to understand more. They wanted to see how humans reacted to the universe beyond their small world. And so, they decided to give humanity a glimpse of the galaxy. One night, above a quiet countryside, the aliens activated small projection devices. From Earth, the sky seemed to shimmer with new stars, strange colors, and lights that moved with purpose. Humans noticed at first with surprise, then with awe. Astronomers pointed their telescopes toward the extraordinary phenomena, while children lay on the grass, staring in wonder. "They are fascinated," said the smaller alien. "Even the youngest among them are trying to understand. Look at their eyes, the wonder in their faces. They are alive in ways few species ever are." The larger alien nodded. "Yes, curiosity drives them. It is what makes this species extraordinary. They are not content with their small planet. They yearn to reach beyond it." Across the planet, people began documenting what they saw. Artists painted the skies, scientists recorded the patterns, and writers tried to describe the impossible colors and movements. The aliens watched carefully, noting how humans interpreted something far beyond their experience. "They express their emotions," said the smaller alien. "Even in something as simple as observation, they turn it into meaning. That is rare." The larger alien smiled, or as close as an alien could smile. "Expression is the mark of intelligence, but also of spirit. Humans have both in abundance. They are alive in every sense that matters." Curious humans built devices to capture the alien lights, even creating small models and simulations. The aliens observed closely, impressed by the creativity and determination. Humans wanted to understand, to mimic, and to learn. This desire to reach beyond themselves thrilled the aliens. Then the aliens took a bolder step. One of the pods descended near a small research outpost, invisible yet close enough for humans to sense something strange. A subtle energy field brushed over instruments, and suddenly the humans detected anomalies, signals, patterns, and ideas that they could not explain. Scientists gathered in teams trying to decode the new data. Slowly, fragments of understanding emerged. Mathematical patterns, sequences, and cosmic symbols. Something universal yet beyond earthly knowledge. Humans began to realize that they were witnessing intelligence far greater than their own. "They are learning," said the smaller alien softly. "Even though we have not spoken, they understand. They are intelligent enough to recognize knowledge even from the unknown." The larger alien studied them. "They are not the strongest, not the fastest, but their minds, their hearts, they are resilient. And this is what sets them apart. They adapt, they learn, and they create. That is why they are extraordinary." Over the next days, the aliens continued to share glimpses of the galaxy. Distant planets rotated slowly in projected images, moons glimmered in unusual colors, and stars moved in patterns that no human eye had ever seen. With each projection, humans reacted with awe, fear, joy, and wonder. Some wrote notes, others drew, and a few simply sat in silence, unable to comprehend the scale of the universe revealed to them. "They are trying to interpret," said the smaller alien. "Even when faced with the unimaginable, they seek meaning. That is what makes them alive." The larger alien agreed. "Yes, they are small, fragile, and young in cosmic terms. Yet their spirit is immense. That is what makes them special. That is what makes them worth observing, protecting, and perhaps even befriending." Curiosity soon turned into conversation, not with words but with signals. The aliens sent mathematical patterns and energy sequences that humans could slowly understand. Scientists began experimenting, responding with their own patterns, forming the first bridge of communication. It was tentative, delicate, yet alive with possibility. "They respond thoughtfully," said the smaller alien. "Not with fear, not with aggression, but with reason and curiosity. That is extraordinary. How many species in the galaxy would do the same?" The larger alien's eyes gleamed. "Few. Most are cautious, defensive, or aggressive. Humans, they seek understanding first. That is why they will thrive." The aliens also began to understand human culture more deeply. Music, art, stories, and traditions revealed the values of humanity: cooperation, curiosity, resilience, and compassion. Even in conflict, humans sought solutions and growth. The aliens marveled at the paradox: a small, imperfect species capable of such brilliance. "They are alive," whispered the smaller alien. "Truly alive. Not merely biological but in spirit, heart, and mind. That is rare." The larger alien studied the humans carefully. "We have shared much, but they are learning more than we expected. Their creativity is immense. They turn the unknown into understanding. They grow stronger with knowledge. And soon, they may surprise even us." As Earth rotated beneath the alien ship, humans continued to gaze at the sky, inspired, dreaming, and imagining. Children asked questions, scientists debated, artists painted, and ordinary people simply marveled. Humanity had been given a glimpse of the galaxy, and in doing so they had revealed the depth of their own spirit. The aliens, observing silently, understood one truth: humans were small, fragile, and imperfect, yet they were extraordinary in ways that could change the course of history. Curiosity, courage, and creativity were the true power of this species. And as the night stretched on, the aliens prepared for the next step, a step that would spark reactions not just on Earth but across the stars. Humans were learning, growing, and beginning to understand the cosmos. The cultural exchange had started, and the universe was watching. The news of Earth's discovery spread faster than the speed of light, at least among those who could traverse the stars. Messages and signals from the alien ship reached distant civilizations in the galaxy, sparking curiosity, debate, and astonishment. Humans had not even noticed yet, but their existence had become a topic of discussion across multiple star systems. Inside the alien ship, the crew monitored the reactions. Other civilizations were cautious, some intrigued, others skeptical. Few expected a species so small, so young, to show intelligence, creativity, and curiosity. And yet, Earth had been observed. "They are talking about humans," said the smaller alien, its voice a soft hum. "Some are afraid. Some are amazed. Many did not think a planet so small could hold intelligent life capable of understanding the universe." The larger alien's glowing eyes reflected distant stars. "Yes, fear and wonder often come together. Some will attempt to dominate, others will wish to learn. But humans, they are unusual. Their spirit and curiosity have captured the attention of the galaxy." Back on Earth, humans were still unaware of the broader cosmic reaction. They continued to study the strange lights in the sky, the mysterious signals, and the sudden bursts of energy they could barely comprehend. Scientists sent out signals of their own, unaware that their messages had already reached countless alien ears. Across the galaxy, alien civilizations debated. Some feared humanity might grow too powerful, while others marveled at the resilience, creativity, and courage of a species so young. Philosophers speculated on their potential, scientists predicted their technological development, and historians wondered how humanity might shape the cosmic timeline. "They underestimate them," said the smaller alien. "Humans are small, fragile, yet their curiosity and courage make them formidable. They are unpredictable yet adaptable. That is rare." The larger alien nodded. "Many will be surprised. Humanity has potential far beyond what most species imagine. That is why the galaxy is watching so closely. They are not yet aware, but they are already famous in the cosmos." In orbit above Earth, the alien crew continued their observation. Humans went about their lives, building, creating, exploring, loving, and dreaming. The aliens saw beauty in every action: a child helping another, a scientist discovering, an artist painting. Every small gesture carried meaning and revealed the human spirit. "They are fragile yet remarkable," whispered the smaller alien. "So small yet so alive. The galaxy cannot ignore them." The larger alien's voice was calm but filled with awe. "Yes, Most species never show this combination of curiosity, resilience, intelligence, and emotion. Humans have it all. That is why they will leave an impact not just on their planet but potentially across the stars. Meanwhile, distant civilizations began to send messages of curiosity toward Earth. Some offered greetings, some warnings, and some simply observed. Humanity had unknowingly become the center of attention. For the first time, the galaxy realized that even a small, young species could capture the interest of the cosmos. "They are famous in ways they do not yet understand," said the smaller alien. "And they are only beginning. Imagine what will happen as they grow, as they explore, as they reach for the stars themselves." The larger alien's eyes glimmered. "We have shown them a glimpse of the galaxy. We have observed their creativity and courage. Others have taken notice. Soon humanity will realize they are not alone. And when that happens, their journey will truly begin." For humans, life continued with wonder and curiosity. Some gazed at the stars and dreamed of what lay beyond. Others studied the signals and tried to understand them. No one yet knew that their existence had already sparked discussions among civilizations far older, larger, and more advanced than they could imagine. In the alien ship, the crew felt a mix of excitement and responsibility. Humanity was young, fragile, and unaware, yet full of potential. Their first contact had started small, but it had set off a chain reaction that would resonate across the galaxy. "The universe is watching," said the smaller alien softly. "Every action, every thought of humanity is being observed. They are becoming more than a planet, they are becoming a story, a legend, a possibility." The larger alien looked down at the Earth below. Cities glittered, oceans shimmered, forests swayed, and mountains rose majestically. Life thrived in chaos and harmony alike. Humanity's potential had been recognized, and the galaxy was waiting to see what they would do next. "They are small but alive," the larger alien said. "And in that aliveness there is power. Power to create, to inspire, and perhaps to change the galaxy itself. The story of Earth has just begun. The cosmic reaction has only started." And so, as Earth rotated quietly under the vast expanse of space, humans remained unaware of their growing reputation among the stars. But the alien crew knew the truth: humanity was extraordinary. A small, fragile species had captured the attention of the galaxy, not through conquest or violence, but through curiosity, creativity, and courage. The stars twinkled, distant civilizations debated and watched, and Earth spun on, full of life, wonder, and untapped potential. The cosmic reaction had begun, and the universe would never be the same. The alien ship lingered above Earth one last time. For weeks, they had observed, learned, and exchanged ideas with humanity. They had marveled at humans' creativity, resilience, and courage. They had revealed glimpses of the galaxy and observed the human response. Now the time had come to leave, but not without leaving a message of hope. Inside the ship, the crew gathered around the main observation panel. Earth rotated slowly below, a small, vibrant world full of life. Cities sparkled, oceans glimmered, forests swayed, and mountains rose proudly. Life thrived in ways both chaotic and beautiful. "They are extraordinary," said the smaller alien softly. "So small, so fragile, yet alive in ways few species are. I hope they understand what they are capable of." The larger alien's glowing eyes reflected the planet below. "They will. In time they will grow, explore, and learn. Humanity has potential not just for their planet but for the galaxy. We have witnessed the beginning of something remarkable." Before leaving, the aliens transmitted a final message to humanity. It was simple yet powerful, a promise of friendship, guidance, and encouragement. They could not interfere directly, but they wanted humans to know that the galaxy was watching, and that their curiosity, courage, and creativity had been recognized. Across the world, scientists and engineers decoded the message. It was subtle but clear, a symbol of connection, a sign that humanity was no longer alone. People stared at the sky in wonder, awe, and disbelief. For the first time, humans realized that their actions mattered not just on their planet but across the stars. "They will remember this," said the smaller alien. "They will feel it in their hearts, even if they do not understand it fully yet. This is the spark that will drive them forward." The larger alien nodded. "And it must be their own journey. They must explore, learn, and grow without interference. That is how a species truly becomes great." As the ship ascended slowly into the vastness of space, the aliens looked back one last time. Humanity continued its daily lives, unaware of the full impact of their encounter. Children played, scientists experimented, artists created, and families shared stories. Life continued, vibrant and full of potential. They are small but alive, the larger alien said. And in that aliveness there is power. They can change their world and one day perhaps even the galaxy. The smaller alien gazed at Earth, its translucent skin shimmering in the reflected light of the sun. Will they be ready? It asked softly. Will they rise to their potential? The larger alien's eyes glimmered with quiet confidence. Yes. Courage, curiosity, and creativity are in their nature. They will rise. They will explore, invent, and inspire. This is only the beginning. As the alien ship vanished into the darkness, a ripple of change had already begun. Humans looked up at the sky with new eyes, their imaginations ignited by the unknown. Stories were written, songs were composed, and dreams were dreamed that reached beyond the confines of Earth. Humanity had been touched by the galaxy, and they would never be the same. In the following years, human civilization grew more united, more curious, and more determined to explore the stars. New technologies emerged, inspired by glimpses of alien knowledge. Space agencies expanded their reach, private explorers set out toward the heavens, and ordinary people looked up at the night sky with hope and wonder. The aliens had left, but their presence lingered. A silent promise hung in the stars. A promise that one day humans would walk among the stars, discover new worlds, and perhaps even meet their cosmic observers again. Humanity had been shown their potential, and they were beginning to understand it. The universe is vast, said the smaller alien softly, but now they know they are part of it. That knowledge will guide them. The larger alien turned away, eyes glowing with quiet satisfaction. Yes, humanity is small but remarkable. They have courage, curiosity, and heart. That is what matters. They will make their mark and the galaxy will remember them. And so the alien ship disappeared into the endless expanse of space, leaving Earth behind, alive, vibrant, and full of possibility. Humanity had been seen, recognized, and inspired. The encounter had changed them forever, not through fear or force but through understanding, awe, and the spark of curiosity. For the first time humans knew the truth. They were not alone, the universe was vast and alive, and their story was only just beginning. The stars twinkled above, the Earth rotated silently, and the spark of human potential burned brighter than ever. A new chapter in the history of life had begun, one that would stretch far beyond their small blue and green world. And somewhere in the galaxy, the first alien explorers watched from afar, proud and hopeful, knowing that humanity's journey was only beginning.